Hi, kumusta? Ready ka na? Wait. Saan nga ba talaga tayo pupunta? Ano ka ba? We're going on a tour. Virtual nga lang. We're going on a virtual tour of the Philippines kung saan i-explore natin ang richness of Filipino history and culture. Kahit ang tour na ito ay virtual lang, we will discovering indigenous traditions, historical influences, and cultural practices that shows the heritage and diversity of Filipino people. Tika, di nga pa pala ako nagpapakilala. My name is John Mark A. Pintasan, and these are my team.
Hi!
Ano kayang uunahin natin? What if museum? Tara!
Ain't it fun? Living in every world.
Hi! Welcome to the National Museum of Fine Arts in Ermita, Manila. I am James, your virtual tour guide for today. National Museum of Fine Arts preserves masterpieces that reflect Philippine history, identity, and resilience. First, the Spoliarium by Juan Luna. It shows fallen gladiators dragged into a dark chamber. For Filipinos during Spanish rule, it symbolized oppression and suffering under colonialism. This painting won the gold medal at the Madrid Exposition, inspiring national pride and the movement for freedom. Next is the Death March by Dominador Castañeda. It commemorates the 1942 Bataan Death March during World War II, where Filipino and American soldiers endured brutal forced marches. The artwork shows pain, sacrifice, and resilience, reminding us of the high cost of freedom. We now move to the artworks honoring Dr. Jose Rizal, our national hero. Through these pieces, we see how his writings expose injustice and awaken Filipino nationalism. His values, education, truth, and peaceful reform continue to inspire generations.
Thank you, James. Let's now move on to our next destination. Welcome to Iloilo City, located in the Visayas region of the Philippines, a place long shaped by trade, culture, and the sea. Today, we're exploring the Museum of the Philippine Maritime History, located on the ground floor of the historic Iloilo Customs House, a neoclassical structure built in 1916. The museum highlights the Philippines' identity as an archipelagic nation, emphasizing the vital role of the sea in shaping Filipino life. Established by the National Historical Commission of the Philippines, it preserves the country's maritime heritage and connects past seafaring traditions to the present. Gallery A introduces us to the pre-colonial and early maritime traditions of the Filipinos. Here, we see how early communities mastered boat building, navigation, and sea travel, allowing them to trade, explore, and connect to islands long before foreign contact. The displays showcase traditional watercraft models and early navigation tools that reflect Filipino ingenuity and deep knowledge of the sea. Moving on to Gallery B, the focus shifts to the colonial and modern maritime periods. This gallery highlights the expansion of the maritime trade during the Spanish and American rule, showing how ports like Iloilo became vital centers of commerce. It also presents the growth of the fishing industry and the continued importance of the Filipino seafarers in global maritime labor. The Museum of the Philippine Maritime History is significant to the Philippines because it reveals how the sea shaped the nation's economy, culture, and identity. It reminds us that maritime traditions are not just part of the past, but remain central to the Filipino story today. And now that the Visayas region is done, let us move on to the south of the Philippines, Mindanao.
As for the final museum for this virtual tour, I will be presenting the National Museum of the Philippines, Davao City. Located in the heart of Davao City, Davao del Sur, Mindanao. Housed in the former Davao provincial capital, this museum stands as a symbol of the region's rich history and cultural pride. It reflects the stories of Mindanao's past and the effort to preserve its heritage for future generations. It reflects the stories of Mindanao's past and the efforts to preserve its heritage for future generations. Inside the museum, visitors can explore archaeological artifacts, ethnographic collections, artworks, and national history exhibits that represent the rich cultures and traditions of Mindanao, especially of those indigenous people and local communities. The National Museum of the Philippines, Davao City, is highly relevant to Philippine history because it highlights Mindanao's important role in shaping the nation's identity, showing that our history is built from diverse stories of all regions. And that concludes our virtual museum tour. May these museums remind us of the history that shapes who we are as Filipinos. Thank you and mabuhay!
O ano, nag-enjoy ka ba? Nakakapagod, no? Isa pa? Tara, historical sites.
Hey dear, how you been? Gray skies out the window, but she's a summer breeze. Come and set the tone, now dear, come sit down next to me, Susan. Her hair hangs like curtains, her smile is warm like June. She blinks in slow motion, just like something in the Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes, you can't tell.
Hi guys! Welcome sa Intramuros, ang walled city ng Maynila. I am Elle, and halika at sabay nating tuklasin ang kasaysayan ng lugar na ito. So kung titignan natin ang mapa, matatagpuan ito sa southern bank ng Pasig River, malapit lang sa Manila Bay. Itinatag ang Intramuros noong 1571 ni Miguel Lopez de Legazpi. Naging sentro ito ng ating kultura at politika ng bansa for over 300 years. Dito rin makikita ang mga Spanish-era architecture gaya ng San Agustin Church na isa ring UNESCO World Heritage Site. Maraming mga kasaysayan at history ang nangyari dito, lalo na noong World War II at Japanese occupation. Pinaka-famous spot dito ang Fort Santiago at Rizal Shrine, kung saan kinulong si Dr. Jose Rizal bago ang kanyang martiryo. Ngayon, hindi lang basta historical site ang Intramuros. Isa na rin itong living museum at alagang-alaga ito ng Intramuros Administration. Pwede kayong mag-date dito, mag-bum bike, o kaya magkalesa. Dinadayo rin yung mga bagong bukas na dungeon sa Fort Santiago at yung Museo de Intramuros. Kahit modernized na ang Manila, pagpasok mo dito parang bumalik ka talaga sa nakaraan.
Hi guys! And now, since we are inside Intramuros, we might as well visit a famous church nearby. Welcome to San Agustin Church. Located in the heart of Intramuros, standing along General Luna Street, this historic church is surrounded by centuries-old walls that reflect the country's rich colonial past. Completed in 1607 by the Augustinian order, San Agustin Church is the oldest stone church in the Philippines. Built from sturdy adobe stone, its earthquake baroque design was created to withstand the frequent earthquakes in the region. The church has witnessed some major events in Philippine history. It served as a religious center during the Spanish colonial period, and after some time, the church was occupied during the British invasion of Manila and became a refuge for civilians during World War II. While most of Intramuros was destroyed in the Battle of Manila in 1945, San Agustin Church remarkably survived. Today, San Agustin Church remains an active place of worship and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Preservation efforts focus on maintaining its structure, conserving its artworks, and protecting it from environmental and urban challenges. Fun fact: San Agustin Church was originally built with two bell towers, but unfortunately, one tower was severely damaged by a 19th century earthquake and was never rebuilt. This gives the church its distinct asymmetrical appearance today. More than a history landmark, San Agustin Church is a living witness to centuries of Philippine history.
Hi! Good day, everyone. I'm Giselle. I will be your tour guide for today. My assigned category is Corridor Island, the most important historical site in the Philippines. Tara, silipin natin. Ang lokasyon ng Corridor Island ay matatagpuan sa pagitan ng Cavite at Bataan. Dahil sa lokasyon na ito, naging strategic defense ng bansa. Noong panahon ng American occupation, ginagamit ito bilang military fortress dahil ito ang kinakahuling depensa ng Pilipino at American laban sa Japanese forces. Isa sa pinakamahalagang pangyayari dito ay ang Battle of Corregidor noong 1942. Ginagamit din ang Malinta Tunnel bilang bomb shelter, hospital at military headquarters ng mga sundalo. Maraming salamat sa pagsama sa akin sa virtual tour na ito. Hanggang sa muli!
Nag-i-enjoy ka ba? Dami na nating lugar na napuntahan ah. Gusto mo performance naman? Cultural performances kaya? G? Tara!
Good day everyone, I am Eleanor Barata, and for cultural performances, we present the Tinikling from Leyte, Eastern Visayas. This dance dates back to the Spanish colonial period and was inspired by the graceful movements of the tickling bird, eventually turning from hardship into a beautiful folk dance. Tinikling plays an important cultural role because it symbolizes teamwork, unity, discipline, and Filipino resilience, and is often performed during fiestas and cultural events. Dancers wear Filipiniana attire, women in balintawak or patadyong, and women in barong Tagalog, and use two bamboo poles as the main props. Now, let's proceed to another iconic cultural performance that highlights the creativity and playful spirit of the Filipino people, the Itik-Itik dance. The Itik-Itik dance, originating from Cantilan, Surigao del Sur, in the Caraga region of Mindanao, this folk dance holds a special place in Filipino culture. Itik-Itik is a mimetic folk dance, meaning it imitates movements found in nature, specifically the lively and playful gestures of ducks, known as itik in Filipino, as they waddle, flap their wings, and play in the water. The dance traces its beginnings to the early 20th century in Cantilan, when a talented dancer named Kanang performed at a baptismal celebration, and while dancing the folk dance Sibay, she began improvising movements inspired by ducks she has seen in rice fields and shallow waters. Her playful duck-like steps, like waddling, flapping, and splashing, delighted everyone present, and soon others began copying her. Eventually, this joyful and spirited style of movement spread throughout the community and beyond, becoming the well-loved dance now known as Itik-Itik, named after the Filipino word itik, meaning duck.
Itik-Itik is a traditional Filipino folk dance from Cantilan, Surigao del Sur. The word itik means duck, and the dance copies playful duck movements like waddling and splashing. It is usually performed during fiestas and celebrations, showing the joyful and creative spirits of Filipinos while bringing communities together. Dancers wear traditional Filipino costumes such as barot saya for women and barong Tagalog for men. and no props used because the focus is on expressive movements. So, overall, Itik Itik celebrates happiness, culture, and unity.
Is next on our Filipino cultural journey is the Sikil. It is a majestic dance from Maranao people of Mindanao, inspired by the epic Darangan, and it tells the story of a princess gracefully navigating a forest during an earthquake. Singkil is all about royalty, elegance, and cultural pride. It is a true showcase of a Filipino heritage. Dancers wear gold adorned royal costumes and use fans, scarves, and bamboo pools, moving with their incredible skills and timing. Watch as they weave through the bamboo in the perfect harmony with the music, and it is both thrilling and beautiful. Singkil isn't just a dance. It's a celebration of Maranao tradition and the rich diversity of the Philippines. Enjoy this glimpse of our vibrant culture. Thank you.
Museums, historical sites, tsaka cultural performances. What if indigenous practices naman? Let's go.
In the mountainous regions of northern Luzon, particularly in the provinces of Kalinga and Mountain Province, indigenous communities such as the Kalinga and Buntok have preserved cultural practices that reflect unity, identity, and resilience. These traditions have been passed down through generations and continue to shape community life today. One important indigenous practice is bayanihan, which is deeply rooted in Kalinga and Buntok communities. This practice originated in the Cordillera Mountains, where life in a rugged environment required cooperation for survival. Historically, bayanihan was practiced during communal activities such as building houses, repairing rice terraces, planting and harvesting crops, and helping families in need. The purpose of bayanihan is to strengthen social ties, promote mutual support, and ensure the welfare of the community comes before individual interests. Significant traditions associated with bayanihan include collective labor, shared tools, and the unspoken obligation to help one another, symbolizing unity, cooperation, and shared responsibility. Another significant indigenous practice is batok, or traditional tattooing, practiced by the Galinka of some batok groups. Batok originated in the Cordillera Highlands during the pre-colonial period. Historically, tattoos were earned rather than chosen actually, often marking acts of bravery, leadership, or service to the community. For men, tattoos symbolized courage and warrior status, while for women, they represented beauty, strength, and maturity. The purpose of batok is to preserve identity, honor achievements, and carry ancestral stories on the body. Traditional tattoos used in the batok include a thorn or needle, charcoal-based ink, and a bamboo stick for tapping. The tattooing ritual itself symbolizes endurance, respect for tradition, and a deep connection to one's ancestors. Together, bayanihan and batok reflect the values of the Kalinga and Buntok people. Bayanihan strengthens the community through shared action, while batok preserves history through permanent markings. These indigenous practices remind us that culture is not only remembered, it is lived, practiced, and carried forward.
Welcome everyone. As we discover the Hudhud chants of the Ifugao people, one of the Philippines' most important indigenous traditions. The Hudhud is a traditional chanting practice of the Ifugao community from the mountainous province of the Ifugao in northern Luzon, passed down orally through generations. Rooted in ancient times, the Hudud is traditionally chanted by elder women and tells stories of ancestral heroes, family history, and everyday life. It developed alongside rice farming, which is central to Ifugao culture and identity. Within the community, the Hudud is performed during rice planting and harvesting, funeral wakes, and important gatherings. It teaches moral values, strengthens community bonds, and honor ancestors and spirits. The chants are slow and rhythmic, led by a main chanter with others responding in chorus, using only human voice and rich symbolism. The hudud connects people, nature, and tradition. Today, the hudud is recognized worldwide and is listed by UNESCO as a masterpiece of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity, reminding us that this chant is a living voice of Ifugao culture. Hi, I hope nag-enjoy kayo sa ating virtual tour and thank you for having us as your virtual tour guide. Bye-bye!